What's going on YouTube? It's Maffu, and today we'll be checking out the KvK camps. Now I'll be using this screenshot as reference. Now these are not updated power in KP. This was from a couple weeks ago, but we'll be using this as reference. So let's check out Fire Camp. And a big disclaimer, we'll be only checking out the main alliance of these kingdoms. Sorry. So for Fire Camp, the main alliance is Sinners, sitting at 11.5 billion power. This is what the alliance looks like. We have Black, the king. Now Black is actually R4 right now. It looks like a farm count is R5, but we have Sponge, LCM, Rich Arab, Halix, Waldo, and all in the R4s. In R3, we have Rich Papa, Lee F2P. I believe this is one of the sleepers that came here. Shadow, Mystic, and so on and so forth. We'll kind of scroll through. I already looked at the top players in 95 earlier. Some of the other big counts, we have another LCM account, 007 here. Purple Lotus, Pepe, Unagi Chucky, and that is just to name a few. This video would take forever if I go through literally every single player in every single camp, but we're just going to highlight some of the top players in every camp. For Alliance KP, 95 is actually the second alliance. We'll check out 90 in a bit here, but 95 is the second alliance with a total of 211 billion KP. The top alliance of 82 is the Imperials. This is our first campmate in Fire Camp with the King Balk. Some of the top players, they have Foxy. I believe I've seen this account before actually. Maybe they messaged me before, but very young ID, 192 ID, same ID as Sponge, 119 million power. Solaris, Ofka, Osha, these are the R4s they have. Checking out the R2s, they actually have a farm account with 82 million power. That is a beefy farm. But this is R2, a lot of strong accounts up here, a lot of T5 accounts. I'm sure you guys will recognize these names while we're ball fighting on the field. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of T5 accounts in 82. This is kingdom number 2 in our camp, and we'll be checking out the other two kingdoms. But first, let's check out the KP. 82 is sitting at 8th in KP with 61 billion, 61.2 billion. Very, very solid. The next kingdom in Campfire is 77 with their main alliance, Dark Angels. We have Queen, the king here, 83 million power, 1.3 billion KP. With some R4s, Happy Geek, Akaza, Ex-Lover, DGL, Lannister, White Fangs, Lebo, Creole, Lebo again, Mahrusha, and Gavi. They got some strong accounts here with Hellenus, 101 million power, 2.7 billion KP. We got Crazy, we got Glory, we have Kyo0, we have Blood King, and so on and so forth. As you can see, there's a lot of T5s here as well. Yo, that border is insane. How do you get Serenity's profile border? That looks pretty cool. Moving on to R1. This is one of the top 3 in the pre-KvK. Mr. Greek, he pushed, I believe, 20 million power, 114 million power whale, 2.6 billion KP. We have HZ here, another 100 million power account, 103 million power, 3.8 billion KP. That is insane. We have Tito, Arya, and so on and so forth. That is Kingdom 77. Honestly, very, very strong. Let's check out their KP. 77 is sitting at 10th in KP with 49 billion. We'll see how this changes during the KvK. There's a lot of strong accounts here, so they have a good chance of gaining a ton of KP. And the last kingdom in Fire Camp is 3683, Fighting Falcons. This is their main alliance, 4.7 billion power, with their king, Lord Snow. 800 million kill points here. We have Lost Boro, Karaka, Lin, Nozem, Boru, Akinichi, Ackerman, and Witcher as the R4, with some pretty good KP. A couple billion accounts here. Now checking out the R3, they actually have some really high KP numbers here. And now checking out R3, they have a lot of big accounts as well, including Natemper, Master, Murmur, Bjorn, Geo, Ezel, and so on and so forth. They look very organized with their alliance tag, which is always cool to see. And yeah, we'll be seeing them on the field a ton. But before we move on, let's check out their KP. 3683 is sitting at 34.3 billion KP, and that is the end of Fire Camp. Now in this video, I'll be checking out Earth Camp, and then in tomorrow's video, I'll be looking at Water and Wind Camp, so stay tuned for those camps. As you guys know, we are allied with Earth Camp. Fire Camp is allied with Earth Camp, is what I'm trying to say. So this would be the top side, and then we'll be looking at the bottom side tomorrow, and then you guys can give your predictions on who you think will win based on the stats. Now Earth Camp starts off with 3680. This is their A seed, 9.9 billion power, and they have a lot of strong accounts here. Currently missing a king though, but they have Auto Barbs, they have Lady Odinson, Kag, Benji, Quumbo, Fafa, Gamba, Sir Bebo, Michelson, and Sepia as there are 4. Lady Odinson has a huge account. Same with Auto Barbs, that's 6 billion KP by the way, native account, 187 ID. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Definitely happy to be allied with them versus fighting them. That would have been a pain. But in their R3, they have a huge amount of whales. Poppy Team Money, 128 million power. They have Rip Harambe, 125 million power, 3.5 billion KP. They have Baram, 108 million power, 2 billion KP. Saint Odinson, 96 million power, 3.1 billion KP. We have Eco, 96 million power, 4.5 billion KP. We have Iggy, 93 million power, 7.5 billion KP. And the list goes on and on. I could go through literally every single one of their players, and they're all good players here. In 80, super happy to be allied with them. Omar's here, Scouted's here, Ape is here, a lot of familiar faces that I've been playing some KvKs with in the past. And in their R1, they have My Lovely Liar, which is their native 192 ID Mega Kraken SVIP, 165 million power, 2.7 billion KP. Let's check out their total KP. They are third place with 139 billion KP, very strong kingdom, and they are leading Earth Camp. Alongside the second kingdom we're going to check out, which is 3685. 3685 is currently 9th in Alliance Power. Adaptus Astartes. I don't understand the name, but 7.5 billion power with their king Flip. 105 million power, 2 billion KP. They have Kruth here, which was up there on the leaderboard as well. 195 million power, 2.4 billion KP. Native account here. They have Minnie Mouse, 96 million power, 1 billion KP. Kim Jun, Unit, Joey, ASG, The Sauce, Schnazzle, and Legolas. Those are their R4. Moving on to the R3, they have John Shelby. I got word that there's a ton of Shelby accounts, so if you guys get mixed up, it's not too bad. But as you can see, it's Tommy Shelby, Foxy Shelby. There's a couple of them up here. We have Ben up here, we have Red Eyes, and there's a lot of big whales up here. Tume Pederon, if you guys remember him from 26, and from my first kingdom ever, 85. Similar account ID to me, very good account. And the list goes on and on. Very strong kingdom here in 85. Honestly, surprisingly strong. I didn't expect them to get paired up with 80, but hey, that's 2 strong kingdoms in Earth Camp. So Earth Camp is a great ally here. But let's check out 85's KP. 4 alliance kills, 85 is number 3. So this is Earth Camp in the 3rd place, and this is Earth Camp in 5th place. 85 is number 3 with 75 billion KP. Very good kingdom. The next alliance in Earth Camp is 97, which is Art of War. Now I believe I actually looked at this kingdom before because I remember this profile banner for the kingdom. But they have Hendu the King, 57 million power, 1 billion KP, and their R4 over, pretty good account, 1.8 billion KP. We have Matos, we have E9, Gara, Fries, Locke, King Bob, Tayo, Puds, Pimp, Matilda, and Unhealthy Brezzy. Some very solid accounts in here, 1.8 billion KP, 1.6 billion KP, 1.1 billion KP, 700 million, and so on and so forth. That's the R4. Let's check out their main alliance here. And I do remember Shinichi. I don't know why I remember him, but maybe is that a name from an anime? Possibly. But as you can see, they have some very strong accounts here. Maurice here, nice. I know that player. And they have a very strong main alliance. Earth Camp is pretty stacked, I will say. Holmes here with 92 million power. This should be a good KvK. I'm very excited to see Earth Camp versus Wind Camp. I think that's going to be an insane zone. Oh, Maeve's an 80 as well. Obviously, Maeve is a huge account as well. 128 million power, 2.5 billion KP. People are going to be jumping around alliances. Yo, Stefan's here. Shout out to Stefan. I know he changed his name to BOG, but hey, still the same from 26. But it looks like there's a lot of 80 players in this alliance, probably doing Bastion quests. So, hey, if I missed 80 players, here you guys are. Let's check out 97's KP. 97 is currently 12th with 44.3 billion KP. And let's check out the last kingdom in Earth Camp. The last kingdom in Earth Camp is Heavenly Blood. KS84 from Kingdom 3684. This is their main alliance. And they have the king Lucky Y4 with 4.1 billion KP. Very strong count. This looks like a sleeper. And they have a lot of whales too. Oh my god. Free to play Zayden. 100 million power. 100 million power. 1.3 billion KP. You have Salty, Pain Sword, Aptu, Ido, Stig, Neverdie, Charmieli, Ronan, Monique, Seduna, and Karma. Those are their R4s. Look at R3s, they have a pretty decent amount of T5 accounts. I believe everyone over 48 million power is probably T5 at this point, which is very impressive. This KvK is loaded with T5s. I'm assuming that most people do hit T5 by KvK4 or around KvK4, KvK5. But yeah, this KvK is going to be fun. A lot more players here, some from 85 and 80. But this kingdom does look pretty good. Earth Camp is pretty stacked this time around. Very solid camp. And I'm excited to see what they do in the zone. Let's check out their KP. They're sitting at 13th place in the KP leaderboard, 42.2 billion KP. Very strong. Earth Camp is looking very strong, I'm not gonna lie. This might be a decent Zone 5 fight against Wind Camp. Now, I do predict that Wind Camp's going to win the zone fight against them, but that's because Wind Camp is so strong. And we'll be checking out Wind Camp and Water Camp tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I'm sorry this video was so long, but 2 camps is a lot of kingdoms. I skipped a lot of players. I'm sorry if I skipped you. I hope it's okay, and hey, we'll see you guys next time. Peace!